guys, my name is JAde and welcome to Dollars Jamming. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for videos about music production, synthesizers, and meaningful content. So today we're going to be looking at the Yamaha CP-88, the piano of my dreams. So when this piano was first announced a couple months ago, I knew I had to have it. It's a piano that is not per function, kind of like a synthesizer, but it's a piano. So right before I left for Germany and TSR-19, I started getting emails from companies saying what they were going to bring and if I wanted any time with any of that gear. And Yamaha said that they were going to bring like the Mod X, some of the refaces, but nothing about the CP-88. So I emailed them back and I'm like, Yamaha, please bring the CP-88. I need to check this out. It's pretty much the only reason I wanted to go on this trip. Obviously kidding, but I did tell them that just as a joke. And they did. They brought it for me. They brought it for me to play. They pretty much said that they brought it for me. So thank you, Yamaha, for doing that for me. I didn't get to play with it as much as I would have liked to over at TSR-19 because it was super crazy. There was just a lot of awesome stuff going on, but I was able to sit with it for a while, make a video, make some music videos with Aunt Annie with it, and just from that short time of playing with it, I knew it was something that I wanted in my studio permanently, and now it's in my studio permanently. So today we're going to take an in-depth look at the CP-88, all of its functions, all of its sections, the effects, and what it's capable of. So let's get right to that. Okay guys, so this is the Yamaha CP-88. It's so big it won't even fit in my camera. It's divided into 6 sections. To the left is how we navigate through our live set. The yellow represents the piano section, the red represents our electric piano, and the green represents our subcategories. Next to that, we have our effects section and also a master equalizer. Over here, we have our master volume knob. We also have the OP1 going into the audio in, and there's a separate gain knob for that. Next to the volume knob, we have a clickable knob to select our sounds as well as to navigate through the menu. We have 8 slots to immediately access all of our sounds in our live set, which is super convenient for live performance. I hope you noticed that smooth transition while changing sounds. There's no sudden cutoff while you're switching sounds, which makes it great for getting experimental without any clicks. So even though there's only 8 buttons, we can actually access all of our sets right here simply by switching to one of the 20 pages. Saving a sound is pretty straightforward. You make a change to a patch you like, press store, and then scroll to the desired destination. So the reason that you can't name your sound right away is because this piano is geared towards live performance, and they don't want to take you out of that groove, so you can go into settings and name your sound later. The button next to store is the panel lock, which does just that. It locks our panel. You can see this little lock up on the top left when it's active. So basically it freezes all of our knobs and switches in place. This can be convenient during live performance and prevents you from accidentally changing anything you don't want to. Below that is our master tune. I don't want to mess with that. Then we have our split point for splitting our keyboard into specific sections. Our master transpose, which changes our pitch by semitones. The touch button lets us change our touch curve, be it normal, soft, hard, wide, or fixed. Then we have our settings button where we can get deeper under the hood, but we pretty much have a button for everything here. Our menu button where we can back up our sets, check the firmware version, etc. And the exit button that takes us back to our set. Okay, so let's talk about these switches. They actually bounce back for on-off, so they're not fixed on a certain position. If you turn off all your sections, you're not going to get any sound. Just a heads up, if you're not getting any sound, that's probably why. Okay, so let's take a look at the piano section. Right now, we're on the grand piano, and we use the yellow button to switch pianos. So let's hear what these sound like. There's only 5 of those, but they will be adding more with future updates. Next, we have our upright piano. Only 2 of those. Then the CP, which is one of my favorites. Two of those as well. and then our layered piano. 2 of those as well. So this button labeled LR defines our split point for the specific section. So let's say if I turn on another section and place the sub on the right and the piano to the left, my keyboard will split accordingly. Then we have our octave button, which allows us to transpose by octave. It actually goes pretty low. When the button is unlit, we're on our original setting, and to the right is our higher octaves. We also have a volume knob for this specific part. Each part has their own volume control, which makes it easy to mix straight on the panel. And then we also have a tone knob for each section, which kind of opens up our sound. The piano section also has a damper resonance button. Each section has a different feature, which is great. And next to that is our effects on off for the piano section, which includes a compressor, distortion, drive, and chorus. We can see the amount on the screen, which is nice as well. So let's move on to the electric piano section. The amazing thing about the CP is that you can have all sections going on simultaneously. We'll see what that sounds like later. So our first category is the Rhodes. Let's go through these. Five of those. Next is the whirly. Three of those. Then the clavier. And last but not least, the DX. And we have 6 of those. So for every section, we have our octave buttons, our keyboard split point, volume knob, and tone knob. Gives it like a brightness on the electric piano. The electric piano also gets a designated drive. Super crunchy. And this is apart from our master effects. On top of that, we get 2 effects per section. These get assigned knobs for depth and rate. Our first effect is auto pan. If you're listening in stereo, you'll hear the difference. Tremolo, let's turn the drive off. Sorry about that. Beautiful sounding tremolo for those lo-fi vibes. Then we have ring mod, which can get really experimental as we mess with the depth and rate. Our first wall responds to our keyboard dynamics. And our second wah responds to an expression pedal if we had a foot controller plugged in. And the last effect is a compression. So we can actually have 3 effects running simultaneously just on the electric piano if you're including the drive. This section has a rate and speed knob. The first effect is a traditional multiple chorus. Our second chorus gives us a nice detune effect. Then we have a flanger. Phaser 1. Two. And phaser 3, which lets us switch between phaser 1 and 2 by the position of our depth knob. So that was the electric piano section, probably the most full-featured section. Now let's take a look at the subcategory section, which includes a variety of timbres. Our first category is pad strings. Let's go through these. For this section, we also get an attack and resonance knob for the strings. I'm using my sustain pedal, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Then we have our organ section. Gorgeous. And that's without any effects. Then we have our chromatic percussion. And then the other category, which includes things like synths, brats, and other instruments. The first effect is a chorus dash flanger. Then a rotary. And we haven't even looked at the delay and reverb section yet. This thing is built for tweaking. Then we have our tremolo. And distortion. Rough. So let's layer some stuff. Let's layer all three, why not? There we go. Beautiful. Okay, on to the effect section. We actually have a button over here that lets us choose which section we want to be affected. If you want just one section or all the sections to be affected. Next to that, we have our depth, feedback, and time knobs. We have an analog and a digital delay. Let's check out the analog first. Now let's listen to that digital delay. Let's start somewhere neutral. And that was just the delay on the piano. Let's activate all our sections. Now let's check out the reverb. Not many settings here, just time and depth. And we have our master equalizer, which comes in handy if you don't have a main mixer. It's definitely convenient to have. So that was the Yamaha CP-88, the piano of my dreams for all the reasons just mentioned. Let's turn on the OP1 and get a little jam going.